Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to have a look at unwrapping the bottle and lid that we've done in Maya. So similar to the Coke bottle, the Lego brick that we've done, the whole point of unwrapping is so that when we start adding materials and textures to it, it knows how the material should be applied to the actual object. So we're going to go to UV, go to UV editor. Our UV editor appears here. I'm going to drag it, make it a bit smaller. I do normally work on two screens, so it does make it quite a bit easier, but I'm going to try and keep it on one screen while we're going through it. So let's, first of all, I'm going to select all of it, because you get these UVs on here that are no good. So we're going to right click a UV shell and just select those, just hit delete, because we don't want them. Okay, so first thing, I'm going to go to object, and let's grab the bottle. Then I'm going to create, I'm going to do camera based. I'm going to go to object, I'm going to just hit Control 1 just to isolate it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is basically plan out where do we want the seams of our material, because we need to be able to lay out our bottle flat 2D, so we need to figure out where do we want the seams to be. So I'm going to right click, go to edge, and I'm going to do it, and you try and do it where it's going to be least visible. So I'm going to click along the bottom, I'll do one up there, and then let's come up and do one under here. And then just at the top as well, we'll do edge here, edge here. And obviously, because it's cylindrical, we need to be able to break it in half. So what we're going to do is we'll just do like that. And so you can see here on the UV editor, the red lines, if you can see that on the screen, is where I put those cuts in. So that's me saying where I want to cut it. So then if I hold down Shift, I'm going to turn off the checker box for now. Hold down Shift and right click, go to cut, go back to UV shell, select the whole thing, Shift, right click, go to unfold. And then if I hit W, I can move these around. So these are the UV shells for that bottle. So what I need to do now is just make sure I don't press the wrong button, is turn the checker map on, which is there. And then now up here. So what we need to try and do is make it so they're all the same size. It doesn't matter what size at the minute, but as long as they're all the same sort of size. I'm also going to rotate them round so they're the right way round. There we go. And actually, I think that's pretty even, actually. Okay, so what I'm going to do for now is drag them, just move them out of the way. Okay, and then for the object, I'm going to unisolate. Let's grab the thread, because that's super easy. Control 1 to isolate. Oh, no. Control 1 to isolate. And with this one, super easy to make into a flat shape. All we've got to do is add one cut at the end of the pointy bit. I've not done camera base yet, so I can't actually do that. So let's go to object first, then go create camera base. There we go. Then I'm going to go to edge and grab one of these edges, shift, right click, go to cut, right click, go to UV shell, select it, shift, right click, unfold. There we go. And you see now, if I turn checker mapper off, E to rotate, that's that thread just done in one big shape, which is perfect. Okay. We will sort the scaling out. Let's do all the scaling at the end, I think, because otherwise we're going to jump between too many things. Let's grab our lid, our label, sorry, go to create. Go to create and camera paste. Go to object, I'm just going to control 1 to isolate, go to edge. Same as the bottle, I'm just going to double click, hold shift, double click. And then let's just do same down the bottom. It doesn't really matter where you do it. It just depends on how clear you want the scene. Like, ideally, the technique you want to try and avoid the seeing where your materials join together. You can hold on Shift, right click, go to Cut, right click, go to UV Shell, select it, Shift, right click, Unfold. So unwrapping for me, that was the thing for the longest time. I always would try and avoid doing it. Because I saw some videos and people doing like really complex things. One, you have to realize that it's necessary to be able to make your materials look good. But two, it really isn't. It's time consuming, but it's not that challenging. Once you do camera based and just click the edges, it's nowhere near as bad or as daunting as you think it is. So it's definitely something worth investing the time just to understand the basics of it. Okay, so if I just select that, so you can see we have got all of that unwrapped. Let's just do our lid. I just realised that we have not smoothed that properly yet. I'm still on smooth preview, so let's go on mesh and smooth. Now let's go to create and camera based. We'll go to edge, double click. Or in fact, I've got a second before I do that. Let's undo my smooth. Have I smooth previewed it already? No, okay, so never mind. Let's just go to mesh and smooth. Okay, then let's create camera based edge. Select which edges we're going to try and do with it. Okay, so let's so all I'm doing here is at the minute it's not going to join up to the middle because I've already smoothed it around, so I'm just going to sort of select a path for it to go to like that, and then I think that is us. Oh no, I missed here. Okay. Okay, so let's shift right click, go to cut, right click UV shell, select it all, unfold. There we go. So then just move these so they're all separate. And then let's turn on check marker so we can see. Okay, so if I isolate everything, you can see scale wise, like oh wait, I just wanna, before I do that, because they're gonna overlap, which is not gonna be good. Drag over here. If I select everything, see the scale difference. Those squares, we want them to be similar, so we're going to grab, I just realised as well that this scale is quite different. So let's grab that. Let's go to R for scale. I'm going to make those bigger. Just want to try and make them the same sort of scale. Let's grab these ones. Half scale. There we go. Just see now that the squares are all similar sort of sizes, that just means that when we add the materials, we know weird thing with the scaling of it all. Then the last one to do is this thread. Let's go to create and camera based. Get the object, isolate it for a second. Edge. Excuse me, I'm just going to grab this edge and this edge. Right click and shift, cut. Right click UV shell, select all. Right click, shift, unfold. E just to rotate it so it's round. And then unisolate everything. The object, select all. And we're not really going to see this, but it's still good practice just to make sure that we've got everything the right scale. Okay, so that is now all unwrapped. So all we've got to do now is come out, UV shell, select them all, right click, modify and layout, because it's important that our UV shells are all within the same tile. And the scale looks right, so basically the bottle is the biggest bit obviously, and then you've got the labels, you've got the lid, you've got the thread. And then if we just come out, you can see that all the squares are pretty similar sizes. Close that down, that is now completely unwrapped. So the last thing to do before we can export that to texture it is just to add ID map. So we're just going to click on the bottle, right click, add new material, add a Lambert, we'll call that right click, there we go, add a blend, I'll call that bottle body, right click, blend, let's add bottle lid, oh no, bottle label, click that one, right click, bottle thread. In fact, what I want to do, let's combine those actually. Let's go to mesh, combine, and let's change the materials. Let's call it new bottle body. And let's combine those as well. So go to mesh, combine, and then let's add new material, and we'll call that bottle lid. So we have got our material, our thing modelled. We have got it all unwrapped, and we've got our IDs onto it. So now what we've got to do is file export it and put it over to Substance Painter, which we'll do in the next video. Hopefully you found that useful. Any questions, just email me at designwithsimon@outlook.com.